Wembanyama and the Spurs. Now, Steph, my gosh, talk about a bounce-back game. But first, Victor Wembanyama with the O board here. Look at the stride, Wendy, just to get to the basket.
Stride, that's a journey for most people.
That's a great leap. Wembanyama had 31 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists in the game. But Dre actually stepped up in a huge way because he had this matchup. He's 6'6", going up against 7'5". What did you admire about his defense, Wendy?
Well, you can't beat higher. You can't be higher than him, so you have to beat him lower. Watch Draymond get low on him. You can move gravity as tall as he is, and Draymond knows that. And Draymond came in with a game plan, and he executed it.
He absolutely did. Draymond Green, plus 15, went on the floor last night. Just effective in disruption, and you get a dap up from your coach when you are that effective. Now let's head to the third quarter. The Warriors were down 9. Steph Curry would have what I'd like to call, we've heard it many times, a flurry, Wendy.
I don't know where this ranks, but it felt impressive, especially considering they've been struggling. They're coming on the second night of back-to-back. Draymond called some guys out the night before. Steph paid that off.
Yeah, he was going from deep, and he was knocking it down. When you see that type of emotion from Steph Curry, you know it's going to be most likely his night. Dancing in the middle of the paint.
How did he get there?
Going through traffic. I don't know. He nimbled his way through. Steph, huge night. Here, off ball, moving around the floor. Now this is teamwork. You're talking about team basketball, Perk.
2 for $1.
Knocks it down. The Warriors win by 5. Now, after the game, Steve Kerr called Steph Curry the son of the Warriors solar system. What did you see from him in that third quarter, Danny Green?
I mean, just excellence. We've seen it for 15 years now. I think year 17 for Steph. But he's so smart, and this is a tough matchup for San Antonio. Excuse me, Jokic didn't have a triple-double. Wemby did have a triple-double, but he was less effective from the defensive end because you got so much running around the perimeter. Steph realizes his overload on one side, cuts through the paint, making Wemby be the guy to match up with him. Gets open space, knock down 3. You got to get Wemby out there, try to get him active on the perimeter. So Steph did a great job with that. This is what impressed me the most about Steph. He didn't just kill him from 3. He did a lot from 2. He was only 5 for 16 from 3. But coming off these pin downs, De'Aaron Fox, only third game back, got to be more locked in. Comes off the pin down, you got to communicate, got to switch. They didn't get the switch. He gets an easy deuce. Looked like a nice little off the glass bank shot. Got to call it, easy money.
Now, Danny, we have, though, Perk, seen this movie before when Steph is scoring. You know that Draymond feels like he's scoring too. Yeah. But honestly, it gives him confidence on the other end. Draymond was in his bag. What did you see?
He was in his bag, and he's the heart and soul of this team. And to you box score lovers and you people that hate on Draymond, this is why he's one of the best defensive players of all time, because it doesn't have to show up in the box score. Look who he is guarding. Look at the fight. Look, he is guarding Victor Wembanyama, 7'7" alien. Look at him contest this to cause one of Victor's 1 of 8 turnovers. Here we are again, staying connected, communicating the pick and roll. Nice hedge right here, right? Giving this guy time, recovering back to stop the drive on Victor. Look, check this out. Another turnover, right? Caused by Draymond Green. Touching him up early, still communicating. Okay, he catches the ball. Look, give him space. Look at the contest by Draymond Green, right? That forced another turnover. So again, to you box score watchers, Draymond Green, his impact on the game is not going to show up in the box scores, but when you watch the damn game, you see his value on what he brings to this Golden State Warriors team.
So on one side, Steph Curry, 46 points, explodes in the third quarter. And then on the other side, Draymond's signature defense. Like fine wine, Steph Curry is aging like what, a fine Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon? I hope I got that right. Steph got his 43rd 40-point game since turning 30 years old. The only player who has more after the big 3-0 is Michael Jordan. Now, it's crazy that the Warriors' performance made the Spurs double, triple doubles between Wemby and Castle be the sub-headline. But, Brian, how would you grade San Antonio's performance, albeit in a loss?
Okay, so San Antonio obviously has a lot going for them. They are, taking huge strides forward. They came into this game 8-2. They're way up there in the standings, but they still have some issues with their roster they got to work on. Primarily, they don't shoot the three-pointer that great. And so in this game, and I know you're not going to outshoot Steph, but they get outshot by 7 threes in this game. They're in the bottom 10 in three-pointers made, and that's why Wemby has been kind of shooting a little bit more threes. And then, if he's having a night where they're keying on him and he's got 8 turnovers, they got to take the ball in his hands a little bit. They, if it's not working for him, they got to take some of the pressure off of his plate.
I will say that they do look good. I agree with Wendy. It's an anomaly to see Jimmy Butler to hit 5 threes. He hit 5 threes last night. Moses Moody, they got it. Al Horford, time and time again, and obviously Steph, tore him apart in that third quarter. He got it going, but mostly from the mid-range. But I like what they're doing in San Antonio. We got to get De'Aaron Fox more in the rhythm and be more aggressive. I feel like he's playing to fit in. And that's kind of causing his be less aggressive. They need him being more aggressive. When they get Dylan Harper back, they're still getting guys healthy. But I like what I'm seeing. They're still young. They need experience. But it's going to take some time.
But Perk, do you think that the Spurs are ahead of schedule?
Look, I think the Spurs are going to make the playoffs, okay? I think you got to grow, right? We didn't see all the guys take that step forward, the elite players, where they get theirs and go through the growing pains of making guys around them better. That's what we're seeing out of Victor, right? Seeing how to play alongside, seeing how to put guys to be in position to play alongside him. That's why we saw the 8 turnovers. De'Aaron Fox was brought in to be that closer. I'm going to give them some grace. You know why? Because De'Aaron Fox is only back. He hadn't been back for, 3 or 4 games? So I'm going to give him a grace, but I'm pretty sure they're going to figure it out, and it's going to be exciting to see that 2-man game once they get that chemistry down between Wemby and D. Fox.
So that was the best of the matchup on the floor. How about off the floor? In case you missed it, prior to Steph's 46-point performance, Steph Curry made one special fans night, signing his Curry prosthetic and taking a picture or two.
That's dope.
That is so cute. That is impact. And that is a super fan right there. Now, still to come, OKC. Speaking of the West, lemon wings type of situation.
Yeah, habanero style. Now look, I grew up a Rockets fan. Clutch City, Elijah Warren. I watched them my entire childhood life, okay? And he makes Elijah Warren great games look like regular games, the numbers that he's putting up. He's the most skilled player to ever play the game. I'm not mad at Ty Lue's game plan because Zubac is one of the best defenders, post defenders in the game. He's guarded Jokic better than anyone else in the entire league over the past year and a half. But what happened is that we saw greatness last night. We saw greatness. We saw a guy come into arena fresh off of back-to-back, going against one of the most elite defenders in the league at the post position and give him that work. Straight business. And so when you think about Jokic and people start to have these conversations of where he ranked, and I'm going to tell you this, he's the best center I've seen in the last 20 years. I know that damn much.
I mean, he is very skilled. There's a young guy that's up and coming that could catch him at some point.
Who?
And Victor Wembanyama, and he's a very skilled big as well, and he is on his way. But it is a shame because Jokic, as great as he is and all the things he's doing, I think we're kind of taking it for granted. And he's in that LeBron conversation. I'm sure Wendy will speak about the numbers that he's putting up. And he's just been doing it for half a decade now of being in an MVP conversation. And not only doing it from inside, but doing it from 3. Last year, he was 40 plus from 3. His numbers are unbelievable. But because he does it so often and so easily, people are not appreciating or respecting it. 50-point triple-double, any triple-double, I don't think I've ever gotten one in my life. He's getting 50-point triple-doubles and making it look easy. And we're kind of taking it for granted. But, he's a special player. And some could argue one of the best bigs we've ever seen in the history of the game.
Are you going to dive into the numbers?
So I'm just trying to keep some November composure.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything crazy in November. He showed back to me.
Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. This is Dallas Game Day, your front row seat into everything Dallas. Because what's happening right now isn't just a story, it's a turning point. Today, we're going to talk about hope, strategy, and a sign of intent. Because in the sometimes chaotic world of the NFL, when a team stays committed, when leadership steps up, when real needs get addressed, you see real change. And the Dallas Cowboys just gave us a major signal that they aren't done. They aren't backing down. They're building, and they're moving forward. You've seen the recent headlines, the big moves. At the trade deadline, Dallas pulled off not one but 2 big acquisitions. Defensive tackle Quinnen Williams from the Jets and linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals. Those weren't just signals, they were bold statements. Dallas said, "We know our defense has been underperforming. We're addressing it now." But even that isn't the whole story, because while the front court got upgrades, there's still a vulnerable position, one that the Cowboys can't neglect. Enter the possibility of signing free agent safety Justin Simmons, a multiple Pro Bowler with experience, instincts, and still enough game. Analysts at major outlets like Bleacher Report and Last Word on Sports listed Simmons as a logical fit for Dallas, given the team's safety deficits and pressing need for reliability in the secondary. When a team contemplates adding a veteran of Simmons' caliber mid-season, that signals urgency, leadership, maturity. And for the Cowboys, that's exactly the tone they're trying to set. Think about where Dallas sits. A 3-5-1 record doesn't reflect the standard of America's team. It doesn't reflect the talent on the roster, the expectations in the league, or the potential this club still holds. The offense has flashed greatness. The defense has too often given up opportunities. But now we see a pivot. Management is doing more than assess. They are acting. Signing or targeting Simmons shows three things. One, that the front office won't pretend the safety position is acceptable. Two, that the Cowboys believe in win-now mode. They're not writing off 2025 just yet. Three, that they want leadership, experience, and dependable play in the secondary where too many games have been lost on breakdowns. Now, Cowboys Nation, this is where you lean in, because what you're watching isn't just roster moves. It's identity. When Quinnen Williams shows up in the interior, when Logan Wilson commands the second level, when a veteran like Simmons brings his voice to the back end, what happens? The defense begins to raise its baseline. Suddenly fewer long drives, suddenly more punts. Suddenly you don't have to ask your offense to win every game by scoring 40. Suddenly there's balance. And balance is everything in the NFL teams. Teams with great offenses can still be held hostage by bad defenses. Teams with good defenses give their offenses margin, flexibility, air. For the Cowboys, they've had the high-powered offense. Now it's about sustainable defense. It's about making the opponent worried when the ball changes hands. It's about making the press box hush when Dallas's defense walks onto the field. Now, let me tell you this. If Simmons signs, if he fits, if he can still contribute even as a rotational piece, it changes things. Then, the Cowboys aren't just adding pieces, they're reinforcing culture. They're reinforcing belief. They're reinforcing that when you're wearing this uniform, you play certain ways. You finish tackles. You communicate. You stay ready. You close games. Now, I'm not guaranteeing a Super Bowl tomorrow, but I am saying the Cowboys are making the moves that matter. They are acknowledging problems. They're paying for solutions. They're not messing around with excuses. And for us, the fans, they're giving us hope. Something we can stand behind. Something we can believe in. So here's what I want you to do. Watch the next few games. Observe the secondary. Watch the communication. Watch if turnovers go down. Watch if the opponent's big plays go away. If the Cowboys strike Simmons, watch the snap count. Watch the matchups. Watch how the team responds. Because you may be seeing the moment when Dallas shifts from potential to premium. Now it's your turn. Do you believe the Dallas Cowboys are heading into win mode? Would the addition of Justin Simmons push you to believe in 2025 again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're behind the star, hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Cowboys Nation Report for every analysis, every update, every moment. We ride together, we believe together, we win together.